Hey everybody, I happened to hear my friend, I've seen him a little bit, Vinny Bonsignore on the Las Vegas Review-Journal daily YouTube video they put out. And heard him say that he thought New Orleans was the first stop possible for Derek Carr. And I'm thinking, where did he get that from? Because the most popular stop for Derek Carr is the New York Jets. And the situation that the Saints are in is a little complicated because right now the Saints don't have a first-round pick to negotiate with. They would have to hope that the Texans, which had 2 picks in the first round, the first pick and I believe the 12th pick, but the Texans would be willing to part with both picks because Mickey Loomis, the general manager of the Saints, has said that he wants a deal with 2 picks in the first round. And this, right now, only the Texans have that. And the Saints have nothing of their own to work with. And they don't have a lot of money to work with on top of all that. So the situation for Derek and the Raiders is that they have to do something up to 3 days before the Super Bowl. Because if they can do it then, at that point, then Derek's cap hit is $5.6 million. But after that, you're looking at an expensive dude. The Saints have the luxury of having Jameis Winston in the house, who, if they keep him, is nowhere near as expensive as Derek Carr would eventually be. And he's a guy who's a proven winner when he's healthy. And has had some of his best career years with the Saints already in what little time he's played. He was 5-2 in 2021. And sure, arguably he was 1-1 in 2022 because against the Buccaneers and then the Panthers, 2 games he really shouldn't have been playing in, he played with a broken back and was still a competitor. He played with a broken back, okay? A broken back. So the Saints have yet to see a fully healthy Jameis Winston for an entire season. And yet, when they have seen a fully healthy Jameis Winston play, he's done nothing but incredible work for them. So you've got to want to tap that source, talking about Winston again, to see what's there, rather than just move him along after the way the Saints handled him last year, which was criminally bad, okay? Just criminally bad. But given Derek's performance at the Raiders in the new system, you have to understand it's a roll of the dice to think he's going to perform well someplace else, having to learn a new language, a new voice, then running the risk that maybe the voice isn't the one that coddles Derek. Because here's the issue, and this is why, as much as I like Derek Carr and as much as I enjoy what he's done for the Raiders, I go back to why I believe he should have been the focus of a quarterback competition rather than, penciled in as the starter over Matt McGloin. A lot of people got, pissed off with me about that, but I held firm. It wasn't personal against Derek, but I believe that quarterbacks, unless you have a compelling reason to make that person your number one, that's statistically sound. If you have 2 people on your staff like Matt McGloin and Derek Carr, you have them compete during the preseason. Just like the Saints put Jameis Winston through a completely unfair comparison with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is not the quarterback Jameis Winston is. Right? That was a joke. Okay. And Sean knew it too. Sean Payton knew it too. He was trying to appease somebody else. And I think that was ownership, who read too much on the wrong, and if I had fraudulent information about Jameis. Okay. Straight up fraudulent. But bottom line is that they did pull the trigger on him. They got him in. And I think the reason why Sean left really had to do with his health and a season that, because of the turf problems at the Superdome, which no one talks about, really ate into their players both in 2021 and it continued in 2022, okay? So if the Saints don't get that straightened out, and I'm talking about the Superdome problem and the turf problem there, it's going to be really hard for them to produce a winner in the near future. Because that turf, I believe, made it harder for Jameis Winston to recover in a timely fashion last year, was responsible for a number of injuries as well, a record number, and there's nothing to indicate the same thing won't happen for the 2023 NFL season, all right? So the Saints have a big problem that they've got to straighten out with that turf, and they need to do it like right now. That's the big problem. And then understand how to install a true ball control passing offense and execute it, rather than that quarterback unfriendly system that they stuck Jameis in to start the 2022 NFL season. But I digress. All signs for Derek Carr point to the Jets. No one has said anything about bringing Derek Carr to the Saints. So Vinny, where you got that from? I don't know, but my friendly advice is that you put that one back in the can, because that's not happening at all. That's just not happening. Okay. All right. Subscribe to Zenny62. Bookmark OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. That ends this broadcast.